everyone, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to a brand new Sacred Union Energy update. So I was a little bit sick last week and unable to do much of anything at all. While I thought I was going to be able to do some work from bed, I just could not do anything. I did not want to do anything but allow myself to sleep, rest, and just not think about anything. And I think it was what was needed. I had a lot of insight, a lot of downloads, as usual. That's what happens when God kind of asks us to shut down. There was a lot that was happening during that kind of rest period. A lot of us were feeling that rest period. I was experiencing the need for rest previously, and then I ended up getting sick, almost as if God was saying, really shut down. You think just a few days of rest is what's needed? You need to actually sleep. You need to actually take care of yourself. And so that's exactly what I did. Did not even want to go to my desk to do any channeling, any pulling of cards, just nothing but take care of myself. And that's exactly what I did. But I know that a lot of you were feeling this as well. Some of you were at the point where I was, where you were sick, but some it was just that need for rest. I had channeled a couple of days before that this energy, this message of rest and release. And that was the ascension energy that we were feeling. A lot of it was because of this eclipse energy. I'll get to that in a minute. Where we were feeling run down, flu-like, where we were feeling this kind of energetic collective shift, that there was something new, that this energetic shift was being created. And I didn't know exactly what that was. Some shift was being created from this energy, and I wasn't sure what that was. I understand it a little bit more now. We'll get to that tomorrow, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But I was told that the shutdown period was for our protection. The collective energy, the global energy was extremely, extremely heavy. And I understood from God that if I were to channel during that time, that I would have been influenced, I would have been affected, it would have interfered and circumvented all of the work that we were doing. And so it's almost like we were put in this cocoon, put in this little bubble in order to protect our energy, to rest, and to just let the energy, that the intensity, the chaos of what was feeling or being experienced collectively to die down. We had a number of different symptoms, including fatigue, need to sleep or rest often. Either way, insatiable anger or a lack of appetite, it could go either way. There was third eye pressure, feeling feverish, like you were sweating energy. I feel that sometimes when the energy is very, very heavy and very intense. Feeling emotional. We were asked to not analyze it, just to observe it and let it go. Heightened dream state as well. And a lot of activations within that dream state as well. So what I was told was that this was a physical purge where a lot of old energy was being released from the body. It creates an energetic shift and breakthrough wherein stored energy has been released from the body to allow new and higher frequency energy to be experienced. Now, I was told that the energy would shift within 24 to 48 hours, and it did. But then for me, it was almost like Spirit was like, God was like, okay, yes, even though the energy shifted, you're not being called to go, go, go like you usually do, to just jump right in to your work like you usually do. For me, at least, in my work, and I know some of you guys experience this as well, I was really asked to shut down. I had a little bit of a head cold. So I was really asked to shut down and just, again, nurture myself, take care of myself, take care of my body as I needed to, and lots and lots and lots of sleep. I was also watching, I'm being reminded of, I was watching some of my favorite comfort movies. I watched Frozen 2, and if you guys were joining us for the last live stream, channeling and chat, you know that that was coming up, Frozen 2, as an Ascension movie. And I had given that to a Divine Masculine as homework during one of our coaching sessions. I told you about it in a collective message. And I finally sat down to watch it myself, and I ended up just bawling and releasing a lot of energy through that movie. It is a tried and true Sacred Union Path of Ascension movie, for me at the very least, where it really talks about healing our generational trauma. It talks about the masculine and the feminine energies as one, and how we are the bridge between the human and the spiritual. It's all there in that movie. It's really incredible. The very first time I watched it, I was in awe because I'm like, oh my God, that's masculine and feminine. That is the twin flame energy. That is the union energy. That's ascension. And so when I was sick, I was called to watch it again. I just ended up releasing and just feeling the activations from it and bawling, but in like a good way, in a very good way. So that's where I have been. I've been recovering. You can still hear it a little bit in my voice, but I've been recovering and just taking care of myself. And I feel like I'm back. I feel like I'm on my way back. So tomorrow we have the full moon eclipse. It is a blood moon. It's when the sun and the moon meet. Then on Friday we have the 11:11 portal, which I've been getting is a very important and powerful gateway, particularly for twin flames. So tomorrow we're going to have a special channeling over on my sister channel, Dawn Ascension Connections, about this eclipse energy, about the 11:11 portal, and about what I'm calling the union of opposites, which is what the twin flame journey, sacred partner journey, can essentially be about. So make sure that you're staying tuned for that channeling. We're going to go deep into the energies of all of this eclipse energy, including what I've been experiencing myself over there. On Instagram, I did pull a couple of cards that just verified the energy that I've been feeling. So you can get a sneak peek on Instagram on the recent reel for the cards that I'll be channeling with to start. It's a very fluid energy. I've been picking up on the energy of this portal, this new life. And so it's this juxtaposition between the old and the new. It's moving out of the old and into the new. This eclipse energy with the 11 portal has a potential for a major shift. It could be unexpected. It could be bringing about some tower energy, especially if you're in the releasing mode, especially if you're in resistance to that releasing, whatever it is that you need to release. But especially for divine masculines, to invite in the new. And if there is any fear about inviting in the new, this could be a new job, this could be a change in life circumstances, this could be new finances, promotion, this could even be a new relationship or committed relationship. There could be a lot of fear around taking that next step. But this 11:11 portal paired with the eclipse energy is really pushing us into that next step. To release the fear around that next step and embrace it. So releasing the resistance, you're releasing the fear, and it has potential to really significantly shift your life for the better if you allow it, if you embrace it. So we're going to be talking all about that in tomorrow's channeling. I'm not sure when that will be up yet, probably sometime in the afternoon. So make sure that you're subscribed over on my sister channel and that you're joining us for that. Okay. Today, I want to do a Sacred Union Energy update where we look at the Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine, since we haven't done that in a while. I haven't even wanted to be honest. I don't know if it's just because I was taking so much time caring for myself. I'm feeling like I'm very physically minded right now. I'm very grounded. I just last week, or the week before, I met with a new doctor. Just really focused on my physical health and my physical body. Amazing. I just thank God every day for the people that he brings into my life, because this doctor pointed me to a personal trainer who's going to be helping me even further with my body. And both my doctor and my personal trainer do energy work and understand energy work and the importance of energy work. And I met with my personal trainer for the first time today, and just a beautiful, light-hearted soul. I just feel so grateful for God bringing these people for this next phase of my journey, which is focused on my physical health. So I feel very physical minded. At the same time, I'm getting a lot of activations. I'm getting a lot of insights. I'm getting a lot of downloads. So it's a very interesting energy that I've been in lately. It's not that I don't want to channel. It's just when it comes to the Divine Masculine, it feels almost like they're over there on their journey and I'm over here on mine. And it's almost like I don't need to know what's going on. It feels almost like it's only when the ego comes out to play that I'm wondering what's happening over there, what's happening with my journey, what's happening with this experience, what's happening with my counterpart. So it's almost like I don't even need to know. I don't even want to know, um, because that just spirals me into this sense of self doubt, especially because there have been some energies of ego, especially over this past weekend. You guys might have felt that as well, where you may begin questioning again. You might have seen something in the physical that made you think that, oh, there's no growth there. There's nothing happening there. There's no change there. This either isn't real, or this isn't my person, or, and you guys know that I've gone back and forth with that quite a lot. I do still believe that he is my twin, that he is my catalyst. He has been my catalyst. We've been a catalyst for each other. I personally have chosen to continue to grow and heal and develop and expand and evolve and all that stuff. But when I get into my ego, it's like, because sometimes I see physical evidence or I hear what's going on, and it's like, where's the growth? What's happening? Nothing's changing. It's the same as it was. But that's where you have to uh, release the ego, release your person, release the energy of that, and just keep focused on your own path. It is your journey as much as it is your person's, as much as it is your journey together. It is your journey as well. So keep focused on your path. Keep focused on how do you want your life to be. What makes your life feel fulfilled? What makes your life happy? I was driving to the my personal trainer today, which was near where my counterpart used to live. So I was going on all these familiar back roads, and the sun was shining. It's like 75 degrees here, which is crazy for November. The sun was shining, the leaves were turning gold and red, and it was just beautiful out. And I realized I'm happy. I'm really happy, and I'm really at peace. And it's because I just feel very present, and I just feel like I am fulfilled within myself. Um, it doesn't matter what a partner is doing, doesn't matter what a counterpart is doing, as long as I am understanding my own fulfillment and on my path to personal fulfillment, so that when another partner comes in, they are able to meet me where I am. It doesn't, a partner is not meant to detract from your own path. You're meant to walk a path together. That's what a healthy, conscious relationship is, where you add value to each other. And so that's where it feels like I've been kind of balancing that out and trying to figure out how to. I feel like I've been integrating that energy. I was going to say how to stabilize that energy, but I feel like I've been integrating that energy. This weekend I was in a little bit of doubt and questioning again, but I realized that that was just ego, that this eclipse was bringing up to the surface to be released, because I was feeling just so abandoned. My counterpart, we had been together for 5 years. He just stopped talking to me. We had an argument, and then he stopped talking to me, even though I tried to resolve it, as I had for the past 5 years. He just, kind of left it. And it was, I was saying, to my friend, I said, I felt like he abandoned me. Um, and that old abandonment wound was coming up. I think I channeled that or talked about that. Oh, yeah, let me read this. Sorry, guys, bear with me. It's been a while since I've done this. It's been a week, but it feels like it's been forever. You ever notice that? It feels like a week has been forever. Time is very strange right now. Very strange. Okay, so I did want to talk about this. In speaking with several soul sisters yesterday, I noticed that the abandonment wound is coming up again for divine feminists, myself included. So that's where I was starting to get into my ego. That's where I was starting to get into my doubt, my questioning of this relationship, of this journey, of this connection, even. Where I felt myself, all of a sudden, I had sat down at my desk, and all of a sudden, I had this thought: he abandoned me. He just left me. We could have resolved the conflict if we would just listen to each other and actually communicate and talk to each other and express our feelings in a healthy way. But we weren't able to do that. And I've certainly tried, but it was just like I felt completely abandoned again. And that has been a common refrain that I have healed within myself, especially as I've healed my anxious attachment that this connection has really brought about in some ways. I feel much more secure in myself. It's especially when it comes to relationships, I'm much more secure in that. But the other person has to do their part too. The other person has to meet you in that connection, has to meet you halfway, and not kind of run away from it, not kind of avoid it. And so all of a sudden I sat down at my desk and it was like he abandoned me, and all of that pain came up to the surface. But it was very different this time. Even though I was feeling it, feeling the emotions, my mind wasn't allowing me to spiral. It was like my mind was simply observing it. I was allowing myself to feel it, but it was from a more detached place where I wasn't creating a story around it. I wasn't attaching to those feelings. I wasn't attaching to that story of he abandoned me, because my soul knows better now. My soul understands that he's on his journey. Does not excuse behavior at all. That kind of behavior is not excused. It does not mean to say that that's how you treat people, but at the same time, you can have compassion for and understand the higher level purpose of it. And I think that that's where we're balancing out right now. We're balancing out the spiritual understanding and that higher perspective of why things happen and how things happen from the soul's reasoning, from the higher self perspective, and the actions and the behaviors within the physical world as you're human, having a human experience. And so there's this balancing out that's really happening. There's this integration that's happening, and we learn to embody the higher self and understanding. We learn to embody, hey, this is not how you treat somebody. We learn to embody healthy behaviors. We learn to embody healthy communication, healthy expression, healthy conflict. Because there's going to be conflict, but you approach it not against each other, not against the world, but you approach it with each other. How do we resolve this to become closer, to understand each other better, to love each other more? Because when there's conflict, it's just a call or a request for more love, right? Especially when you're in partnership with another. It's like you're requesting more love. I was reminded this weekend, especially about a time when, about 2 years ago now, my counterpart just told me that he loved me and was in love with me. And I was just so taken aback. It was almost like I didn't know how to receive that. Because for so long I had been pushed away. For so long it had been the opposite, where even though I felt that love within my heart and I felt it in my intuition, the 3D was showing me something else, or he was showing me something else in the 3D. And so to actually hear those words, it really took me back by surprise. And we had a long conversation after that. And I had asked him, is this for real or is this pretend? And he said it's absolutely not pretend. Not that, he would ever be pretending. He's not that person, but it was me needing that reassurance. And he was stepping up to provide me that reassurance and have that discussion with me. And he had said something that stuck with me that I remembered just this weekend. And he said, what do I do if I need more love? And I had said, then you let me know, because I can always provide that love. I can always be there for that. But your person has to be there for you too. It's a partnership. That's what you do in a partnership. That's what you do in a healthy, conscious connection. And what we're doing, especially as humans, is it's like we're just requesting more love. And especially when we're in pain, pain is a request for more love, to fill in those holes, to fill in those gaps, where there wasn't love in the past. So it's been an interesting experience. I thought I was going to talk about that tomorrow, and I guess I'm not. But it's been an interesting experience of a lot of memories cropping up out of the blue. Almost like it felt like it was his memory, but I was being asked to remember it as well. And it's just very, very interesting. So what I had channeled was, this might reflect as mild anger or resentment with regards to the divine masculine and the reflected behaviors or treatment in the past. This is the abandonment wound. The upcoming full moon eclipse is a powerful catalyst to bring up residual energy that may have been suppressed, particularly if you had a desire to either reunite or move on from the connection. So if you were feeling like you really want to reunite with your person, or if you were feeling detached and just let me go, just let me off this merry-go-round, this eclipse is a catalyst for both energies, bringing up residual energy to show you why do you want to reunite and why do you want that detachment. So either end of the extreme. You're being asked to allow your emotions to flow without continuing to attach to them. Whatever it is that you're feeling, anger, resentment, or grief, it's allowed and even justified. What you feel is justified. But remember, this energy is here to heal. It is not here to keep you trapped in the same cycles. What you're feeling, allow those emotions to come up, because when you bring up the emotions, you allow yourself to heal. It's not getting yourself trapped. You don't repeat the stories of the past. Just like what I said, when I was feeling that abandonment energy, my mind was observing it and saying, okay, this is what I'm feeling, this is what I'm experiencing, but my heart and my soul knew the truth, that this was just old energy that was coming up to observe, to acknowledge, and to release it, to heal it, not to get myself caught in the same story again and again and again. So, affirm the love for yourself within yourself. Where you might have once accepted poor treatment from external persons, this does not just have to be your divine masculine. Your divine masculine might have been portraying these energies, portraying these actions or behaviors. They might have also been mirroring this from your past, from other situations and other relationships, where you abandoned yourself. So see where you once accepted this behavior that led to your own self-abandonment, so that you can recognize that you have evolved and risen to a higher state of self-respect. Honor your growth. And then in that channeling, you can find it on my YouTube community post or community tab, as well as on Instagram and Facebook. We talked a little bit more about authentic connections, how you're shedding the toxic energies of the past in relationship to one another, how there is a healing of codependency and attachment, how you are really recognizing who you are now and not projecting who you were, including the relationships with regards to the past. You're not projecting your past relationships onto each other anymore. That's what's being healed right now. Okay, so we're going to do something a little bit differently tonight. I feel like I want to do some past, present, and future energies for both the masculine and the feminine, and kind of go off of that, kind of see what this eclipse energy is bringing in this reading. Give me 1 second. Okay, so I want to get a card for each to see. How do I want to do this? I want to get the union energy, past, present, and future of the union energy, and get a card for each and see where this union, this overall energy has been. So let's get the past energy, recent past. What was the energy here in the recent past? Healer, present, abundance, and near future or potential future. Wow, okay. So in the recent past, this could even be current energy, leading up to the current energy. There's been a lot of healing and recognition of that healing that has been happening. It says, you have powerful healing gifts, have faith in your abilities, stay true to your path as a healer. Remember when I talked about in the beginning, just walking my sacred path, just living my life, wanting to feel that sense of self-fulfillment, feel that sense of happiness and joy in my life. And so I'm following that sacred path to continue my own expansion, my own evolution. That's this energy here. And I feel like you both are experiencing this. I feel like both the divine masculine and the divine feminine are going through their healing journeys. It might look a little bit different on the outside. Remember, you're a union of opposites. We're going to talk about that tomorrow as well in the channeling. But you're a union of opposites. So you approach this journey a little bit different, which might make it a little bit difficult to understand each other. That's where some tension or some friction might occur, because you experience it very differently. Even though you kind of have that kind of soulmate familiarity with each other, that feeling of home, that feeling of deep-seated soul connection with twin flames, you are the yin and the yang. You are the opposite with each other to create that wholeness, Doesn't mean that you're not whole within yourself. You have the divine masculine and the divine feminine energies within you as well. But your divine masculine as a physical person is your inner masculine. You as a divine feminine are their inner feminine. It's that wholeness. It's that one energy in two separate bodies and two separate people, individuals. So with this, I feel like you are both experiencing this healing on your journeys, even if you are in communication or in lack of communication, if you are in together or if you are in perceived separation, because remember, separation truly is an illusion. And the more you come into your inner union, the more you don't feel that lack. You don't feel that separation from your counterpart. You don't feel like anything is missing. You feel their energy. You are one with their energy because you're one with yourself. So with this, I feel like you are both discovering yourselves. You are really deeply connecting with yourselves, and through that you are healing whatever it is that needs to be healed. As I've talked about in the past, especially in the Twin Flame Truths channeling on the playlist here, I have a special playlist for that, and in the workshop, the full 3-hour workshop that's available on my website, we talk about sometimes because of the intensity of the energy as you're going through your ascension, as you're going through your healing journey, you kind of need a timeout. You kind of need to go to your separate corners before you kind of come together in more harmony. And each time you come together, it is more harmonious, it is more balanced, it is more stable because you're doing the healing work within yourselves. And then you're doing the healing work together. I'm not going to go deep into that. You guys have listened to the channelings. If you want to understand more, check out the Twin Flame Truths playlist here in the channel for more on how the whole twin flame cycle and energy works. But so you're coming together, but you're also doing the healing work. And the next phase of your journey is going to be doing that work together. But you had to go through this process of individualization in order to, number one, understand yourself and connect deeply to yourself, and to heal the aspects of yourself as an individual that needed to be healed for whatever it was that, whatever karma that you acquired, whatever cycles that you got yourself caught in, whatever wounding there was throughout your lifetime. So you're doing your healing work, they're doing their healing work, and the next phase is coming into partnership and allowing yourselves to heal together. Because remember, relationships are the greatest catalyst for growth and change. Every relationship is a catalyst for us. And it's not just your relationship with a person, it's your relationship with money, your relationship with business, your relationship with your spirituality, your relationship with God. It's everything in this world we have a connection with. Everything in this world we have a relationship with. When my name of my business is Susan Dawn Spiritual Connections, it's not just connections with another, it's how are you connected to yourself? How are you connected to the universe? How are you connected to the world around you? It's everything we're in relation with. So you're going through this healing cycle, and I feel like you are going through major shifts. I am feeling the eclipse energy here, so I do feel like the October eclipse that we just experienced leading into this corridor, and the eclipse tomorrow, and the 11/11 portal, really significant. There's a lot that is at play here. I'm getting reminded to check out the November energy update. I usually post that just for the Patreon. However, I was guided to post the Ascension part of it over on, again, my community tab, my Instagram, and my Facebook. There's always a number of places to find the information. And check that out as well. The November energy update, I did post that publicly. So there's a lot of significant cosmic support that is coming out to assist with this healing energy. This energy is also recognizing yourself and connecting to yourself as a healer. Now, that doesn't have to be as an energy healer. It is just who you are, the love that you embody that helps to heal. And so the more that you are embodying your sacred self, the more that you are embodying your higher self, we talked about that in the beginning as well, the more that you are embracing the healing energy of love, because you're embracing yourself as loved, yourself as a beloved. And so the more that you're doing that, that has a beautiful ripple effect on all of life, on all of the world. So you don't have to necessarily be an energy healer or a tarot reader or whatever it is. You don't have to do spiritual work. to be a healer. You are a healer naturally through love, through the love that you embody. And so I feel like that's part of this healing energy that's coming through, is you're beginning to recognize this and understand this from a very deep-seated soul level, where you might have intellectually understood this, but now you are really intuitively feeling this. It's really being integrated within you, that it's just about your embodiment. How are you showing up in the world in your highest form, in your highest light, in the highest energy of love? And especially love for yourself. There's a real self-love energy around here as well. And self-love isn't just, nurturing yourself with good food and exercise and comfort movies, even though sometimes that is very necessary. Self-love is, how do you value yourself? How do you honor yourself? When you're met with conflict or confrontation, how do you hold yourself in your highest integrity? How do you heal yourself? How do you take care of yourself when you are met with resistance? How do you react? How do you respond? How do you connect deeply to yourself? That's all about self-love. Self-love is seeing where the wounds are and loving them even more. It's about balancing, I'm hearing, the dark and the light, the shadow and the light. It's about embracing every aspect of yourself, and that's where you heal. And so I feel like that is a healing cycle that you have really been on. Yes, it's about healing all those wounds of self-abandonment and betrayal and rejection and neglect and all that comes with the healing territory, right? But it's about deeper than that. It's about healing the love within yourself and allowing yourself to feel the deepest, I'm hearing access points, the deepest access points, accessing the points of deep self-love. And so I feel like this eclipse energy really activated that within you. This higher level integration. And again, this eclipse energy now, tonight into tomorrow, is really this residual energy, allowing any of that residual energy to come up to the surface, to be released, because you just don't need it. And the more it's released, the more you have room for new energy to come in. Because if you're filled up on the old, it's like a house, your body is your house, your body is your temple. And you can't bring in new furniture if the old furniture is still there, right? So that's what it is. It's like you have to let go of the old tenets, the old beliefs, the old mindsets, the old habits, the old addictions, anything that is keeping you in toxic energy, anything that's keeping you stagnant. You have to release that in order to allow for the new frequency to come in. The better version of yourself to come in. I don't want to say better because that creates a hierarchy, but the higher version of yourself. You only know what you know in the moment that you know it. So we don't negate our past or who we were. We embrace that part of ourselves too, because that's all we knew, or that's what we knew. But the more awareness we have and we gain, the more conscious we become, the more we understand that we have choices now to make, to move into different phases of our lives. And if we're holding ourselves in resistance and stubborn energy and pride and holding ourselves back, then we're not allowing our true selves to flourish. We're not being authentic to ourselves. We're not trusting in ourselves. And so the more that we allow ourselves to shift and to change, the more we honor our past self. Thank you for getting me where I needed to go, but I'm not there anymore. I'm going to make different choices. I'm going to make more conscious choices. I have a greater awareness now of where I want to go and where I need to be. And that's moving us into the present energy, which could be a little bit more near future energy, which is abundance. So your previous self, healing your previous self, saying thank you for helping me get to where I needed to go up until this present moment here, but I'm going to make conscious choices through my higher level of awareness now. I'm much more conscious. I'm much more aware of who I am. I'm much more connected to who I am. I love myself more than I did in the past. Doesn't mean I didn't love myself in the past, but I understand that's evolution, right? It's evolution. You say thank you to who you were, and you allow yourself to keep evolving, to keep expanding. And that expansion just brings in more abundance. It brings in more prosperity. It brings in better relationships, because you are in that higher state of vibration, that higher state of frequency. So again, I just want to repeat this because they're repeating it. It's not that you negate your past. You say thank you for your past for showing you everything that you needed to experience. I'm going to give you guys an anecdote. When I look back at my past and who I was, especially before this ascension journey, I can appreciate everything that I went through. Especially when it came to illness and being sick with Lyme disease. I can appreciate who I was. And I thought that was everything that I learned there, the growth and the strength, and how I was advocating for myself and others and using my voice and expressing myself in a way that I had never done before. I thought that was growth. And then I was launched on this ascension journey, and it just expanded me and opened me up in so many new ways. And so I say thank you to that version of myself that thought that's all there was. I say thank you. Thank you for everything that you taught me. You carry all the experiences with you. You carry all the wisdom, all the lessons. You carry who you were, but that doesn't mean that you have to tie yourself down to who you were. So I say thank you to that past version of myself who went through those experiences so that they could teach her. But I don't have to carry those experiences anymore or relive them or keep living them. Because I'm in a higher state of awareness, a higher state of consciousness, because I have grown and healed and expanded in so many different ways, it's like I'm at a new starting point. And so I'm allowing myself to open up to even more abundance, more prosperity. Again, different relationships, more soul family, more conscious connections, different ways. And it doesn't necessarily have to be different people, but it could be transformed versions of different people that you're inviting in. It could be just how are you engaging with people is in a higher state, a more conscious state. How are you participating in relationship could be different. So you say thank you to that version of who you were. In this conscious state, you're moving forward, you're looking forward. It's beautiful energy. So I feel like both of you are in this state of manifestation. There's this energy of seeds being planted where you are really looking towards the future. Again, healing the past, healing yourselves, and from that state of presence, this moment here, you're not looking back to the past, you're not repeating the past, you're healing that, and you're looking forward, you're manifesting forward. And that's what you do, you manifest forward, right? You know, if you're on a journey, you don't keep circling back. If you have a destination, you know, you can look in the rearview mirror and say, oh, look at how far we've come. But you don't keep turning the car around, right? You can reflect on that and say, oh, that was an amazing kind of pit stop that we had. That was an amazing dinner at that restaurant. Do you remember that? Or, you know, let's talk about that dinner that we had at the restaurant. But you're still moving forward, you know? You can look at the past, reflect on the past, talk about the past, but you're not going back there. That's the most important thing. You don't turn the car around and go back. You keep going forward. So interesting analogy there. So I do feel like you're in this energy of manifestation where you are releasing who you were, releasing this past, but most importantly, this energy is that you are creating who you want to become. So there's this little bit of like in between transition kind of energy, this balancing, or no, they're saying integration. So you're integrating these energies right now where you are letting go and healing the past and looking towards the future. What is it that you want to create more consciously, making different choices? I'm seeing the word commitment. So I do feel like this could be committing to yourself. This could be committing to your partnership. But there's this new level of commitment that is coming through where you are maybe even committed to your journey in a new way. But there's something really abundant and beautiful and prosperous about this next level that you're walking into, about how you're viewing the future. You're viewing the future in a very different light than you had in the past. Where you had in the past, I'm seeing a lot of stormy weather. It might have felt like your future maybe was really uncertain, but now you are kind of embracing that uncertainty with more trust and more faith and higher hopes. I'm seeing the clouds parting and the sun coming in. So you're really feeling more hopeful than you had in the past. And that's all because of your growth. That's all a testament to your growth, your expansion, and your ascension. And I love that we have imagination and beloved here as well, because this is part of it as well. This is like a beautiful progression. What are you creating? That's what this imagination card is all about. What are you creating? What is it that you're manifesting? You're manifesting your abundance. You're manifesting your prosperity, and you are manifesting your union, which is what this beloved card really feels like. It says, prepare for your life partner. Romance is returning to your relationship. Believe you are lovable. You are manifesting. So this, both of this, it kind of feels, it doesn't feel so much like past, present, future, which is what I had anticipated. It feels more fluid than that, which is interesting because that's one of the cards that came out, and one of the energies that came out in the sneak peek today, which we're going to talk about further tomorrow. It feels more fluid. It feels like the past moving into the present still, creating the future. So it feels really fluid here. This could all be happening at once, which can make it feel a little bit chaotic and intense. But remember, time is nonlinear. It's happening all at once. So what are you creating in this now moment? That's why it's really important to bring yourself back to the now moment. What are you creating in this now moment? It has the energy of abundance. Are you going to claim that? Or are you going to go back to the past and repeat the past patterns and stay in the same energy? And Spirit's saying, no, we're not going to allow that. If you want to try that, you'll just receive tower moment after tower moment after tower moment. You have to shift your consciousness. You have to shift your perspective and the direction that you're going, which means sometimes that you have to shift your actions. You have to shift your behaviors. You have to choose something different. They gave me the analogy a couple of weeks ago about, if it doesn't matter if you're going the same road every day to your house. It doesn't matter. What matters is the energy that you're in. You can travel the same road every single day, and sometimes you could be hit with a lot of traffic, and sometimes it could be smooth sailing. It just depends on the energy that you're in. The energy is what makes the difference. You shifting your energy shifts the experience. That's what they're trying to say. I said it better back then whenever I first channeled that, but what they're basically saying is your energy makes the difference. Your mindset makes the difference. If you're in the same energy, then you're going to have the same things repeating itself. If you're in a different energy, if you allow yourself to shift the energy, it's going to create a different experience for you. So with imagination here, it's like, what is it that you're creating in this energy of abundance that comes from your healing that brings about this sacred union? Because make no doubt about it, you are coming into the sacred union. You are coming into this harmony and this peace because you're recognizing yourself as a beloved, and because you're recognizing your person as a beloved as well. And we've talked about this, that allow yourself to release whatever needs to be released around that. Don't hold tight out of attachment, out of fear. If there's any place of fear around yourself, around the connection, around this journey, then that's what needs to be worked on. That's what needs to be released. Just allow yourself to step into a different energy of faith and trust. And it's then in that in between, that balance of faith and trust, that you allow yourself to surrender. And from that surrender comes alignment. So okay, beautiful, beautiful energy. What do we need to know with regards to this eclipse energy for the sacred partners? Yep, they want me to take these. Be humble. And what I'm actually getting is release any pride. Release and take inspired action as well. Yeah, release that resistance by releasing any sense of pride. Now, have pride in yourself, of course. Like, that's not the energy that we're talking about here. Honor yourself, love yourself. But it's the ego, especially when it comes to spiritual ego, that can take hold. That sense of pride, that sense of resistance, that sense of folding your arms across your chest. Nope, I'm not going to do it. That kind of energy. That's what you're releasing. You're allowing yourself to be humble so that you can receive divine insight and guidance from the universe in order to move you into inspired action. What I love about this card here is there's something about Gemini energy. I'm not sure what this is that they're bringing through. I'm not an astrologer. I talk about that all the time. But sometimes I get this astrology energy, and I'm getting, there's something about Gemini right now. I don't know if there is like a conjunction, something about Gemini feels really important right now, astrologically, like it's cosmically supporting us. Something in the stars right now is what I'm getting. And I love this. It's the two facing each other. It's allowing, and you have the butterflies here, allowing yourselves and your relationship, your connection to transform, because you're recognizing the transformation both within yourself. And as you recognize the transformation within yourself, you recognize the transformation in the other. The other is you, is what I'm hearing. Recognizing that the other as part of you. So speaking your world into being, it's allowing yourself to express. There's something about communication here that is allowing yourself, a lot of throat chakra healing I'm getting, that's allowing yourself to really open up to new energy. Okay. They're done with those. Let's get some tarot here. I feel like I'm gonna use this deck. Yeah. There's something about the power of words as well. So allow yourself to express your heart. Allow yourself to express yourself. When you hold it all in, that's when it becomes like poison. It festers within you. You have to allow yourself to speak the words out loud, because words are your power. But using those words consciously. If you're just speaking your words and you're like, I don't even know what I'm saying, then you're not using your words consciously. If mean what you say and say what you mean. It's that Dr. Seuss thing. Mean what you say and say what you mean. If you are speaking words and you're like, well, I don't mean it, then you're disconnected from yourself, because you're disconnected. Your mind and your heart are disconnected. So what's happening here is there's a healing, especially for the divine masculines I'm feeling. There's a divine healing that's coming through, where it's like you're connecting the mind now with the intuition, the mind now with the heart. And so it's going to allow you to more eloquently and more articulately speak from the heart, to more be able to express yourself now. Somebody might also be working on communication, learning how to communicate more effectively. But it's not something that feels so learned, even though that is a skill, obviously, that you can learn. But this feels more like just allowing themselves to speak from the heart and not hold themselves back. I feel like this person has really held themselves really back in the past, especially when it comes to communicating their feelings. And that's because their own feminine energy was suppressed. Their emotions were so deeply suppressed and repressed that they didn't allow themselves to step forward in their emotions. They didn't allow themselves to have their feelings, or maybe their feelings weren't respected or understood in previous connections, especially when it comes to upbringings. A lot of inner child healing is coming through. So allowing themselves to have a voice, allowing themselves to speak their emotions, is what's allowing themselves to understand that intimacy and vulnerability is a beautiful thing in deep-seated connections, especially those that you feel deeply connected to, those that are loving. Not everybody deserves your words, but those that you put your trust in, those that you put your faith in, that you intuitively, using your discernment, that you intuitively know that you can trust and feel comfortable with, and that you have that sacred bond with, especially for these divine counterparts that you have the sacred bond with. It's like this person is understanding, oh, I can speak my heart, I can express my emotions, and I can have this depth of love and this depth of connection that I deeply, deeply want, the sense of intimacy and vulnerability. I feel like there's this, it really feels like divine masculine. I'm getting a lot of solar plexus activations right now. It really feels like they're building up the confidence within themselves to be able to express their emotions, especially when it comes to their divine counterpart. Especially when they held themselves back from their divine counterpart. So the power of the voice, because there's a lot of vibration within the voice as well. And it's all about intention too. It's not necessarily the words, it's the intention and the energy behind the words. And it all has to match. And that's what embodiment is all about. That's why the divine feminine didn't always feel safe with the divine masculine. Or I should say the masculines within the greater world. Because for so long, the intentions weren't pure, or the actions didn't match the words, or the intentions or the energy didn't match the words. And so divine feminines have been doing a lot of healing of her own masculine energy and feeling safe within the masculine presence, That's also coming from her divine masculine as well. It's this really beautiful energy of union, of this coming together and being able to embody the fullness, the presence of words, energy, intentions matching the actions. That's what embodiment truly is. Everything is aligned, and everything had not always been aligned in the past. So there's a lot of healing energy that's coming through. All right, let's get feminine and masculine and feminine, how you're feeling towards each other. It's going to be a little bit of a longer reading. Masculine, how are you feeling towards your connection? How are you feeling when it comes to your connection? The Star and the Nine of Cups. I want to get one more. And Strength. Yeah, they're building that confidence within themselves. And understand too, Divine Feminines, that this is part of their journey. You're part of their journey, but you're not their whole journey. Just like they're not your whole journey. They're a significant part. You have activated each other. You are one energetically. You're a significant part of each other's life, a significant part of each other's journey. But part of what you had to realize is that you also have your own sacred path. The connection is not the totality of your life. It can feel like it. It felt like it for a long time because you were going through this process of ascension wherein your partner activated you through all this growth and all this healing. But that's where you learn to focus on your path and focus on your life and focus on the things that fulfill you and bring your joy. The connection does that as well, but it's not the totality of it. And that's where you release that codependency. That's where you release that attachment. It's a part of it, but it's not the whole. So Divine Masculine is feeling really hopeful, feeling really, I'm getting this really dreamy energy with the Nine of Cups too, feeling really dreamy, and feeling like they're gathering their strength for this connection, wanting to show you how they've grown, wanting to show you how they've changed, and how they are changing. And I'm getting throat chakra activations. I'm getting a little bit almost like my like how do you say it? Like your throat is break? No, what do you say it? Like your voice is cracking. That's what I'm getting. Like your voice is cracking, but that's like this throat chakra healing that's happening here. Wanting to come forward, wanting to speak. Oh my gosh, and look what's on the bottom of the deck. Yeah, wanting this union. Your partner wants to lift you up. I feel like there had been a lack of confidence and a lack of worth in the past, and so they didn't feel like you're equal. They didn't feel like your partner. Within themselves, they didn't feel like they were good enough for you. They didn't feel like they were capable of giving you everything that you desire. And I feel also with that they had made up a lot within their own mind. Like you expected more, you wanted more than what they could give you, when all you really wanted was this. You wanted the connection, you wanted the love, you wanted their intimacy, their vulnerability, their expression. You just wanted to be partners. To know that you were in this together, but they had made up a story in their mind of you need this, you need, especially when it comes to material, tangible things, like you need the big house, or you need the cars, or you need the money, or you need this or that. But that was all because they were kind of submerged within the distorted masculine energy. Divine masculine energy, conscious masculine energy understands that that's all physical world stuff. You know, stability is important, but when it comes to material goods, that's not the emphasis. The emphasis is on the connection with each other. The emphasis is how you build and how you provide that stability for each other and for yourself. It's on the spiritual. It's on the faith. It's on the trust. It's on leading each other to God. Like that's what the connection is built on. It's not built on how much money you have or how many cars you have or what kind of house you live in. It's not the old stuff of the past. That was an old template, an old paradigm of relationship. Stability is something else. Stability is presence. Stability is feeling safe with one another. Stability is being held. That's what this energy is, and they're beginning to understand that, oh, my counterpart, you know, she wasn't asking me for what these other people were asking me for. She didn't have those expectations. She just wanted connection. And so they're beginning to understand this. They're beginning to understand it from a higher perspective and not from the distorted, very physical minded place. Um, it's not to say like we don't, devalue money or shelter or any of that stuff, but it's not the primary focus. You build your life together. You have your dreams. Obviously, if you want the big house, if you want the cars, if you want the money, and that's part of your dream and part of your desire. Obviously go for that, but it's not the primary focus. It's not the goal. The it's not the starting point. You start within. How do you feel within? How are you having that sense of stability within? How are you having that sense of strength and presence and groundedness within? And how are you manifesting that without? It's not external to internal. Oh, if I have the car, if I have the house, if I have the job, if I have the money, then this will happen. No, they're beginning to understand it's the reverse. You have that stability within, you have that confidence within, you have that strength within. You take guided action within, inspired action from within, and then you build without. You create then from that place within yourself. That's what the divine masculine is understanding. And because they're understanding that, they're having new hope. They're wanting to balance out this connection. They're wanting to provide. They're wanting to offer to you in a way that they hadn't before. And wanting to provide to you in a number of different ways, including material. Maybe taking you out on dates, maybe, surprising you with a gift or flowers or something like that. But again, it's not the material that's the focus. Those things are just the expression of the internal. It's just the expression of love. So even if they want to take you on a date, or if they want to, give you a little gift or something like that, or flowers, it's what we say about romance. Romance is an expression of love. It's not a thing itself. So it's the intentions and the energy behind it that fuels it forward. Rather than, I want to provide for you, I want to give you this, this, and this. It's not external like that. It's the intentions, the heart, the love within that then fuels the expression. That's how they want to provide for you, because they're feeling that love within now. And feeling that sense of confidence too. I'm also hearing taming of the ego. So I do feel like they've been taming that ego, allowing themselves to be humbled, allowing themselves to listen to what the universe is communicating with them, allowing themselves to receive a lot of insights where they have been resistant to that before. They might have been receiving insights, but especially when it came to taking action on that, they have been resisting that or pushing it away. But that's what that humbling energy is, and that's what that ego taming is. They're allowing themselves to receive and take that guided action, and I'm hearing it's because they're more connected to their heart. And this is what they want. They want to uplift you. They want to love you in a way that they had not allowed themselves to love you before. This is really opening of the heart chakra. This is really stepping forward. It's beautiful energy. Divine Feminine, how are you feeling towards your masculines? Wow, the High Priestess, the Ten of Cups. I feel like we're going to do it like this. High Priestess, Ten of Cups. What else? And the Nine of Wands. Divine Feminines, you are intuitively, so it's just like I channeled in the beginning. When I hit record, even if I'm sharing my own experiences, there's a purpose for that, of what I'm guided to say. So Divine Feminines, you might be experiencing what I was talking about, what I was experiencing, where you're feeling very balanced and very grounded as that Queen of Pentacles, especially in your material world, where you might be focused on your material world in that grounded way, maybe focused on your health or your physical body or your finances or your business. But you're still connected. You're still very connected. It's because you are embodying the sacred feminine energy, where it's very grounded. You're not just spending your days in meditation. You're out and about in the world, which is what you're meant to be doing. You're always intuitively connected, but you're also grounding that energy out and about in the world. Taking care of family, taking care of your home, or your business, or working, or whatever this is, but you're embodying the sacred feminine through all of that grounded energy now. And what that is that's your inner union, where you're in balance with your masculine and your feminine energy. Feminine energy is that connected energy, intuitive energy. The masculine energy is the doing. Where feminine is the being, and connected, masculine energy is the doing, where they are, building, where they are creating, where they are, very grounded in their material world. So you're balanced within both, you're embodying both. So you might be feeling that, you might still be feeling some of that integration, but you're feeling very grounded and you're feeling still connected. And part of that connectedness is you're feeling your 10 of Cups. You can feel it in your energy field. And you might even be subtly seeing that in your physical world as well, where you might be getting more stable in your finances. You might be getting more opportunities in your jobs or in whatever this is. You might be having more soul family come in or feel more connected to your relationships and dynamics that you have. It's like your 10 of Cups truly is coming in and being manifested. You can feel it. You can even see it in subtle ways. It doesn't feel like it's everything yet, but you can see the steps. You can see the unfolding in how your life has been changing and growing more prosperous and more abundant in beautiful, beautiful ways. There is still this Nine of Wands energy, however, and this Nine of Wands feels like you might still be a little bit, I'm hearing the words tied to your past. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean like you're repeating cycles. It just means like, I feel like you just feels like you might feel a little bit tired from the past energies. So that's where that rest and recovery kind of energy is coming through. Give yourself some time, because you're kind of in this middle stage between the old journey and the old energy that you were in, and the new abundant energy is still being created. Not to say that the past wasn't abundant, but you're creating the new, right? You're paving the path for more prosperity, higher frequency energy, and higher frequency energy naturally brings in more abundance. So what's happening is you might still feel a little bit weary from all those battles that you fought to get to this point, and it was a hard fought battle, a hard won battle. It's almost like that Five of Swords energy. It was a hard won battle within yourself, where you had to recognize, not abandon yourself. You had to recognize conflict and overcome fears and allow yourself to confront the shadows within yourself and possibly even outside of yourself. It was a very difficult battle this past phase of your ascension journey. It was a very difficult energy that you were in, but you got through it. You got through it, and you're still kind of going through it. That residual energy might be coming up, but this is part of your ascension journey, and Spirit's just coming through, just so proud of you and so supportive of you and so protective of you. This ascension journey for both counterparts is not easy. It is the hardest thing that you will ever go through, and you will not be acknowledged for it outside of our community, of course. We acknowledge that within each other because we're going through this journey together, so we can acknowledge that with each other. But the outside world doesn't acknowledge ascension. They don't understand what it is that it took for you to face yourselves within the underworld of yourselves. They don't understand what it takes for you to break those habits that can stem generations, to heal from generational trauma, to heal from past lifetimes, to heal from all the wounding, to reparent yourself, to heal the inner child, the inner teenager, the inner young adult. They don't understand all the work that you have gone through. And that's okay. They're not meant to. You are the leaders. You are the way showers. You don't have to. That's just ego if you feel like, oh, I need to boast about this and I need to show people all the work that I've done. Acknowledge it within yourself. Express it as you feel called to. Share your heart and share your journey as you feel called to. But understand that not everybody's going to understand, and they don't need to. Your story is meant to guide people along the way. If you express yourself and share your story, it's just meant to be a guidepost for people. And so allow yourself to recognize yourself and all the battles that you fought to get to where you are, how you fought yourself, in essence. Spirit's like, nope, not really. They're like, it's not really like you're not fighting yourself, but how you transformed yourself, how you allowed yourself to grow. And that in and of itself was a battle, because you were battling your ego that wanted to stay confined, that wanted to stay in the comfort of the familiar and the old version of yourself, because that's what it knew and that's what it wanted to protect you with. It wanted to protect you with the familiar. It wanted to protect you with, this is who we are. But your soul sang louder. Your soul wanted to shine. Your soul wanted to expand. And you allowed that. You embraced that, even though it was so difficult to trust among the uncertainty. So you might still be feeling a little bit weary and a little bit exhausted from this journey, and that's okay. That's where you love yourself. That's where you nurture yourself. That's where you fill yourself up. That's where you take care of yourself. But also know that it's all coming to this place, this Ten of Cups. It's all for this. This is part of your ascension. I don't believe in a reward system. I don't believe that the universe acts in a reward system, but I don't have another word for it. It's like this is the conclusion, even though the journey doesn't conclude, it keeps going because you keep expanding, because expansion is infinite. You're an infinite soul, but this is like the conclusion of that work. It's for your ascension, it's for your expansion, it's for your soul's authenticity and truth. And part of that, the more you get into alignment with your true self, the more you become a naturally abundant, because your soul, the universe, is naturally abundant, and you're aligning to the universe. You're aligning to God's source. So it's just a natural conclusion. It's a natural cause and effect. The more you align to your soul's truth and embody that authenticity, embody your integrity, embody the love that is within you, the more you're just aligned to the Ten of Cups. It just is a natural occurrence. Really, really beautiful. All right, we're going to get one last card of guidance here. I'm going to use these cards, I think. What do we need to know about the Divine Masculine towards the Divine Feminine? What do we need to know about the Divine Masculine to the Divine Feminine? The distorted feminine. Okay, what I love about this, and commitment, yeah. So what I love about this is you see how she's like being reborn from that seashell and she's reaching up out of the water. I feel like this is what had been contained within the Divine Masculine, where they were, you see how there's like, they're just pointing me to these eyes that are peeking out here. It's almost like that's where the Divine Masculine had been. They had seen the distorted, or the feminine in her distorted state, because they were in a distorted state. They weren't able to honor her as the divine feminine, as the sacred feminine, because they themselves were suppressing their feminine energy. They were hiding themselves away. But I do feel this energy of being reborn within the masculine. They're coming out of their cave. They're coming out of that shell. It's a very like a Pygmalion kind of energy, a Venus kind of energy, this being reborn, this love being rebirthed. And it's like they're reaching up and ascending from the distorted feminine energy within them. We're talking about the masculine here, but remember, you hold both masculine and feminine energies within, and part of what created the distorted masculine was they had suppressed the feminine energy within them, creating a lot of distortion within their own energy field. So what's happening here is there's love that's being rebirthed here within the feminine energy, so that it's not distorted any longer, from the distorted to the divine. And I feel like they're beginning to shift their perspective. They were looking at their feminine, their counterpart, as distorted, because that's how they had viewed the feminine energy in the past, from their past relationships, from their mother energy or authority figure energy, female friends, feminine friends. You know, they had a very distorted view of feminine energy within themselves and around them as an example, to set that example. And so what's happening is now it's shifting. The divine feminine has really opened their eyes to what feminine energy truly is, and that's helping them to rise within themselves. And the more that they heal the feminine energy within themselves and honor their divine feminine, the more that the masculine energy within them rises in this strength to become that lover's card, to become the divine masculine, lifting up the divine feminine. So this really feels like there's a shift that is happening here. I'm also getting the message that they had really projected that distorted feminine energy onto their divine feminine. Again, they saw their divine feminine as distorted because that was the example that they knew. That was the old relationship that they had had. So they were projecting that, but it feels like a significant Venus energy. It feels like a significant rebirth energy. In the bottom of the deck, we have this commitment, and I feel like the more that they shift this perspective and shift this energy to really see with new lens of, through the new eyes and new lens of love, that their divine feminine had always been their divine feminine, that they hadn't been the distorted feminine energy of the past that they knew, the more that they are desiring this commitment. And that's what part of this star card is. That's part of this wish is wanting commitment, wanting to come together in this beautiful sacred union with their divine feminine. Also have the card compatibility at the bottom. You and your counterpart are divine lovers. You are divine counterparts. You are divine partners. You are sacred with one another. Divine feminine to divine masculine. What do we need to know about the divine feminine? The sacred woman. I had a feeling that was going to come out, and yin yang at the bottom of the deck. This is a union of opposites. Again, we're going to talk about that in the sacred channeling tomorrow. This is the yin and the yang. This is twin flames, sacred partners. This is that sacred union, the coming together. And look at like that toroidal force field of energy that just comes about when you guys are together. It's magnetic. It is powerful. It is the energy that creates universes, the love that creates universes when you come together in the sacred union. Sacred feminine, sacred woman, divine feminine is in the sacred feminine energy. She's in this divine feminine energy. She's embodying that. Divine masculine is over here healing and shifting that perspective. Again, the distorted feminine energy was of the past, and they had projected that distortion onto their divine feminine. So what's happening now is they're shifting that perspective, healing that energy, and now they're beginning to really understand and honor the divine feminine for who she really is and who she's always been. And that's bringing this into union. That's bringing this into balance. Divine feminine is really embodying this. And what I'm hearing is embodying this for the divine masculine. She is helping the divine masculine through her embodiment to heal those distortions about what he thought feminine energy was. I can't get it much more clear than that. I was going to ask for clarity, but I think it's understood. So the divine feminine, through her embodiment of the divine feminine energy, is helping the masculine to heal what he viewed as feminine energy before, the distortions of how he viewed feminine energy before, to show him that there's another way of seeing the feminine energy, of honoring the feminine energy, and that's where you come together. So these two cards really both feel like commitment towards each other, loving, beautiful commitment and union. This feels much more physical presence. This feels much more energetic, which is what the masculine and the feminine truly are. And you come together in that oneness, in that bond, in that sacred union. All right, guys, much longer reading today, but it's been a while since I've done one. So this is going to be it for today. Make sure that you are following me over on Dawn Ascension Connections tomorrow for the sacred channeling on the full moon eclipse. We'll talk about sacred partners. We'll talk about twin flames. We'll talk about the ascension energies and the ascension journey, including the 1111 portal that is to follow later this week and the importance of that. I'm sending you all so much love, so much light, and we'll see you soon. Bye.